Chess Club Twitter feed, and he said bad opening choice by Quest to GM, Chandra. Just tell it like it is, man. It's Twitter.
Okay.
You got to edit your thoughts.
There you
no
go.
room to couch everything in euphemisms. Because Wesley is one of the most dynamic players in the world, and he can handle complications. So he actually did not like Akshat's aggressive treatment here.
Well, especially these pawns on h4 and h5 make a very strange impression. If black ever castles queenside, then certainly it's favorable for black to have those moves in. Conversely, if black is forced to castle kingside, then maybe white is very happy to have h4 and h5 in. But this move, knight b4, really put the pressure on white, because this knight on b4 is really annoying. It's threatening coming to c2 with check, forking king and rook, hence the move castles. Now this nice move queen b6, you can't play knight c2 immediately, of course, because then after knight e4, attacking the queen, a discovered attack on the queen, and suddenly this knight support on c2 is no longer there. The bishop on g6 just got electrocuted on that diagonal. So first queen b6, again knight c2 is a threat, as is queen takes d4. Now, this very enterprising, I'm simply going to say bad decision to play bishop g5 by Chandra. He's certainly overestimated his position. He's about to get himself into a world of hurt with this move, bishop g5. During our break, interestingly, Christian and I actually were analyzing together the ramifications of a line that went like this, which we thought was really sharp. Castles, knight takes h5, knight takes e5, and we were kind of preferring black, but we were hesitant to say that we liked black's game totally. Instead, after the move bishop g5, Wesley's yes, Wesley quickly took over, in my view, as his knights dominate now the center.
And he's got a pawn as well.
And he has got a pawn. And Maurice was mentioning this move, knight e4, that the engines like. Rook e1 was played instead. Check, takes, and it seems to me after this move g6, white's a pawn down, and black's got all the positional trumps that he could possibly want, either from a Caro-Kann or from a French, in fact. And nothing here. This looks really, really bad for white.
Well, and he actually has played another move. He's played the move knight a4, trying to, execute a double attack with attack on the queen and an attack on the knight on d4. But black can respond to this with queen b4. And let's see now if a3. I think we can play
nicely
knight
back to d6,
we can also look at knight f3 check. I don't know if that's good, but let's take a look.
Okay, well,
that's
knight f3 check.
For.
Well, maybe in this case I can see some little tricks.
Yeah, you're getting that move f5 in, indeed.
Because for the moment, your black's king, that bishop on g5, is doing something good.
That's right, but we could also play the more sedate choice of just moving the queen back to protect the knight again.
Exactly.
Queen d6. And
I like keeping the control, actually, queen d6.
Yeah, that does make a lot more sense. You just got to look at the tactics first.
I just don't, yeah, exactly. But I just don't believe in this pawn sacrifice. Maybe the engines have a different opinion, Maurice, or you've got another game to show us.
So rook e4, and the thing is, it looks like after bishop g7, Wesley is holding on to that important monster on d4. But yeah, let's just go see. Like, I can understand why Akshat would think that there's like some possibilities here for white, because it does look like black is like just getting there, like, you know, like some certain like only moves like queen d6 and bishop d7.
Well, don't forget that white's king is severely compromised as well. There are ideas. I think bishop g7 is a fine move, but there are ideas like just sacrificing the exchange and saying, look, at the end of the day, black's king is going to be a lot safer than white's king. So just keep in mind that there's an exit, plan.
Right, a worst case scenario.
Yeah, if bishop g7 didn't, fit the bill, there is this.
I love that idea. The
escape.
Aversion's the exit.
Yes,
so important because
pull the parachute,
hard.
right?
It's hard to calculate all of the different possibilities for white. So it's good to know that you have some strategic options. Of course, the knight on a4 does not leave a good impression because, again, there's always another emergence of the exit idea is to sometimes consider that move knight f3 from before, where you're not winning the rook on e4 because if the queen takes f3, but you are distracting the queen from the defense of a4, although right now the rook is defending it as well. But it just seemed like there's some potential tactics because, like, eventually, if everything's kind of loose in white's position, right? The knight on a4 and
so, sorry, you were just saying that, for the viewership, you were saying there is such a tactic as knight f3, you know, to pull the emergency shoot if bishop g7.
Well, not now because of the rook on e4.
Oh, sorry.
But, and knight e2 also doesn't work because of queen takes e2. And so rook takes, everything is kind of held together now.
So, in a sense, rook e4 takes away knight f3,
yes, it does.
which was available to move before, but now no longer available.
It feels like it might be there at some point, though. Like, for instance, after rook g5 and queenside castles, those discoveries might creep up into the position again at some point. But do we have a move? We do have the move bishop g7, so we'll see whether Akshat has something up his sleeve. Another game that really, really intrigues me is Shanklin's game against Fabiano to the eye. The knight on a4, obviously, in bad shape. So Chandra decided to just go for it, and he gives up another pawn here with the move knight to c5.
And queen takes b2 was quickly played by Wesley. Thank you very much. Pocketing yet another pawn.
And now you would anticipate that Chandra might be after the move rook b1.
Exactly.
But I guess one of the issues here is that after queen c3 trying to hold on to all the marbles, we do have the idea of knight f3 in mind now. I've been trying to play this move forever. So, and you know, ultimately you really wanted to take on b7 with the rook, not with the knight.
Right.
But is that actually working?
I think it's just simply a very bad position for Chandra, I'm afraid to say, for his fans. After the move knight f3 check, you're just going to take this bishop, and guess what? Once that bishop goes, there's not too much glue holding white's kingside together. So I think Wesley is looking like he's really, really happy camper. He's a material ahead. The clock times, too. We're talking about clock times.
It's a lack of coordination, indeed. He's only got 7 minutes. Now, what happens if we took with the rook? Is there just out of curiosity, so you can just snack on, we don't have any good checks. You can just take on c5, huh?
Oh, you meant rook e7 check, and you're just kind of fishing for something.
Just trying to see if there's anything in any of these variations. But yeah, because I obviously wanted to take with the rook. So, meanwhile, Maurice, any cool variation there?
Well,
this game is the perfect game to show new students. You can teach them about castling queenside, and you can teach them en passant.
And you can teach them how to run away with your king to the king side.
This game, this is a classic. This is a classic one for the. I think I'm going to make the YouTube video for my next St. Louis Chess Club stand on this game.
Really? Okay, there you go.
It's great.
So queen takes h5 check, and now rook h2, and it's black who's hunting white's king. His king is now perfectly safe and easily winning position for Wesley. So, and we
have a couple more moves. In fact, after rook h2, we see the move queen d3.
And now, is it time control yet?
And queen h5 check has been played, and now the time control has been reached. But this is problems, isn't it? So
it's over.
So the rook can't move in with the king.
The point is, if in king e3, you've got this cute little. Your students are going to love your lecture.
Yeah, Appalette. Wait, do we have a choice of mates there? No, just two moves.
But,
I could start queen f5 just to torture you.
This is a nice one. So queen h5 check. If you don't play king e3, if you play rook g4,
you're just going to lose rook h3, and I'm going to win all your pieces, right? So
true that.
So you have to play king e3, and then my bishop is really nicely placed because if you interpose on d4.
I don't even have to take it. I'm doing great.
Yeah,
so this is where
I could take twice and then play rook e2 check and win your queen, for instance.
I think
that would be one way, among others. So Wesley, by hook or by crook, he's. You know what? Akshat's not going to feel good when he finds out about rook e6. It's painful.
Well, it's really shocking on all kinds of levels. First, Wesley is such a good player to allow that shot. Ever is really remarkable, and secondly, I don't care really what strength you are. If you're just even a class player, you're going to play rook takes e6. And I think it's just forced.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, he clearly missed rook d3 and thought maybe he didn't think it was as over. You know, his king position's really bad, but material-wise, he was hanging on. So perhaps if he didn't see that follow-up, and you know, it also could be intimidation a little bit. I mean, he's playing against one of the top 10 players in the world.
Sorry,
well,
no
you're not
excuse.
giving me any explanation.
No.
There is an explanation. It's
yeah,
nerves.